You know, guys in this position, we have nowhere to turn. We have nowhere to go. We don't have any type of emotional outlets. We don't have no physical outlets. And we have to hold in a lot of things. We get disrespected. We get talked to crazy. We get called lazy. We get called losers and failures and all of the negative connotations and associations. And it's really hard to really focus your mind after you've been through a lot of pain in life, after you suffer just enormous amount of spiritual torture, emotional torture, and everybody around you just picked at your soul like vultures, picking at the bones, and no one showed you any mercy. And that's one thing that you have to learn in this world is that the world is not going to show you any type of mercy, especially as a young man or a man, period. And there's nowhere to go. And I think that causes a lot of psychological ramifications. It increases the depression, it decreases the loneliness, it decreases the isolation. It makes it very difficult to focus on tasks and objectives that you need to accomplish your life. When you've been through a lot of paralyzing pain in life, and especially if you never had a girlfriend or you never really been on a date before and you never really experienced true love from a woman, it's very difficult as a man to focus. It's very difficult to try to just push yourself out of bed every day, go to school, go to work, rinse and repeat when you know at the end of the day there's no emotional connection. There's no affection, and you can say that, okay, that's okay, just focus on your money, and you can do that. Of course, always money max. The prioritization is the accumulation of wealth and assets, of course. But having somebody by your side as you build those things or as you enjoy those things would be pretty nice, right? Having a female by your side that hugs you, kisses you, cooks you food, and do all these wonderful things. And that's a critical component in a man's emotional development. That's a critical component in a man's overall development, you know, is getting the girl that you always wanted or getting the girl that you liked and she likes you back. And you form a relationship and you get all the emotional needs met, you get your sexual needs met, and you get your confidence raised as a result. And then you take that energy that manifests from that and you accomplish more things. When you're isolated for so long, man, it's very difficult to even think at times. It's very difficult to even focus. You find yourself making crazy mistakes that you would have never made if you had your needs met. Like, let's say you're supposed to save for your rent. You end up spending it on like something that you know you really don't need, maybe an extra video game. Now you're a little behind on the rent because of something like that, because you wanted your emotional needs met. Just something crazy like that. And it's like that's so irresponsible, and I should never have done that. But if I was in the right mind, I would have never done that. That's what happens when you go without a woman for a long time. You start making mistakes. You start just willing to even start projects, and you become isolated. You become a shadow of yourself. And everybody kind of handles this similarly, and then everybody handles it differently as well. It's weird, right? But that's how it is, like some people cope by acting like they don't care, others cope by getting, other types of substances and addictions and doing just weird things. It's just this whole life that we live in is a big cope, it's a big joke, it's a horror show. So many things can go wrong, and yet in our lives so many things have went wrong. And when I really think about it, it's actually crazy how long the societies have been going on. Like, think about even the ancient Rome. You had people working for, like, money and denarii and stuff like that. And even before then, like, very few civilizations wake up and say, you know what, we're tired of this whole money system, we're tired of being servants, and they just tear down the whole system. Then they build a system where everybody's equal, it's peaceful, it's tranquil, and you're rewarded based on your merits and based on the character of your heart. What about a society like that? And you'll never see a society like that, because this world is just governed by evil spirits, and these evil spirits want to make sure that humanity fights amongst each other. It's debilitating when you know you've never had a real relationship with a girl in your life and you haven't really accomplished much with your life. And you look back at it and you're like, damn, man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. And I wish I had a time travel machine. But unfortunately, you can't go back in time, even though that would probably be the most beneficial thing. but we can't. And we get older every year, and we just start realizing, like, damn, at this age, I should have had this, and I should have had that. I should already have a house by now. I should already have a car that's paid off. I should already have a house that's paid off, and I should be paying mortgage, which is basically rent in another name. Stop paying your mortgage and they take the house away so you don't really own it, right? The banks own it. Everybody knows the sheep goes behind the banking system, so we already know what that is. Like, if you own the banking system, you pretty much are in a very powerful position, because because everybody cares about money. Everybody needs money. You need food, you need supplies, you need, all types of things with money, right? So it's crazy how humanity has been ensnared in this trap, ensnared in this deception. And all of our souls are buying to it. We have to earn money, you know. And it's like, what if a zombie apocalypse happens and money becomes obsolete, Would that be like, wouldn't that be an interesting world, right? The post-apocalyptic world somehow. And I know a lot of us, that's kind of like a fantasy that a lot of us have, just a post-apocalyptic world and just running around like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4, right? And just having adventures left and right. But, it's going to be very difficult to survive something like that. Like, radiation is going to be everywhere. And if there are mutated type of animals, it's going to be it's going to be crazy. But I get the sense of adventure and the sense of thrill. At least you kind of have power in your hands a little bit. Like, you're not forced to do this and forced to do that. And that sense of freedom makes you happy. Like, what kind of world is that we are dreaming about a post-apocalyptic world? That shows you how evil this world is. That shows you how this world is designed to break you and to just destroy your confidence. But there's so many like negative ramifications that come with not having a girl in your life over a long period of time, because your family starts to think of you like you're weird. Your family starts questioning your sexuality. Your dad starts looking at you weird, asking for grandchildren. But they don't understand that the jobs out here are paying like crappy pay, and everything's just so damn expensive. Groceries are at an all-time high. It's ridiculous how expensive groceries are. Gas prices are crazy. Rent prices are crazy. Like, they should make something where people in a certain position, like unmarried single men, and they already know these men probably have a small chance of getting married, come up with some government deal that says, look, we'll give you these apartments for free, but you can never get married. You know what I mean? Or something like that. And you don't have to pay no rent or anything. We just give you this government built apartment. You have free Wi-Fi. You get all you get basic food or whatever. Like, you get all this stuff paid for you. Internet, electricity, all that's paid for you. The water, everything's paid. You don't got to pay anything. You can just never get married. A lot of people probably would take that because they already know it's over. As sad as that sounds, some of us would be like, you know what? In this, rather than be in this position, I'll take that. And you go into that apartment, sign a little government deal, and maybe they'll sign you for maybe you can do different deals, different rates. If you sign permanently, you can never get married ever again, then it's going to be for free. But if you say over a 5-year period, 10-year period, maybe if you have some cope in your system, then maybe you got to pay maybe $100 or something like that, right? So you have different tiers and different prices, for what you're willing to give up. But I bet a lot of us will go permanent. A free place to stay where, you can just game all day, blow a little Mary Jane. You already know it's over. So it's just forget it, and just kind of stay away from society, at least be around people that are kind of understanding. Imagine an apartment building filled with NEETs. It'd be the most quiet apartment building ever. If they're true NEETs, because true NEETs will never even leave their apartment rooms, unless they leave the bathroom or get something to eat. Trust me, I know. I was a NEET for over a decade, so I know how NEETs think. The NEETs like to get comfortable. Once we get comfortable in our little base, we like to just kind of reinforce it, and we don't want to come out. But in this world, thanks to the demiurge, there's always a way to make you come out your comfortable, neat, reality, where something forces you to do something that is detrimental to your mental health, such as, the 9-to-5 grind, right? This is why it's critical for young men to find themselves early, meaning that you find something that you're good at and you try to build a business model around it, because the ultimate goal is to gain financial independence from the 9-to-5. because life is so short, man. And if you can somehow maybe get rich, if you can, if not, then just try to make a business, try to do, just try, like 50 Cent's first album, like it's it's brutal that we have to go through all the things we go through, the little events that seem to be targeted at us, that seems to be aimed at us, that seems to be designed to degrade us, to make our confidence low. It's like I look at like look back on certain events in your life that were negative. Like look at all of those events, and I want you to ask yourself this: does it look like something could have scripted that? Like, does it look like a movie event? The way your dad yelled at you, the way the people laughed at you, the way you dropped that item when you were younger, the way you missed that catch in football, and your team got mad at you. Like, look at all those events that happened in your life. The way that girl said ill to you or said no to you, the way you got rejected from that girl, the way that you found out your friends were going behind your back and, talking to your girl and doing dirty, nasty things with her. And you find this out. You find that your family talks about you and all that. And let's say like one day at night you go downstairs to get a glass of milk, you know, just took a bowl hit or whatever, and you're like, dang, you faded, so you want to go downstairs, use just some cookies and milk. So you go downstairs and then you hear like your dad and your brother like talking about you, like, oh man, he doesn't have a job, man, I don't know what he's going to do, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he's kind of like a loser, blah, blah, blah. And you hear that, like that event feels so scripted. It feels like something did it on purpose, right? Like a lot of things in our life, man, I feel like there's no way in hell that that can just happen like that. There's no way in hell that that can just, like, that was random. It seems too coordinated. It seems too orchestrated. It seems too perfect. It just seems to match it like that. Come on. Come on now. That's too perfect. Right? It's, I don't know, man. Like, the world is just, it's getting worse, And I grew up in the 90s, right? And it was a totally different world than what it is now. Like this world now is just it's like it's designed. It's like it's not designed for humans. That's the best way I can put it. It's like whoever's running this is not a human, and they're designing life to like be detrimental for humans. Like it's like it's being done on purpose. All these things are just perfectly designed to lose us, to take away our energy. That's what it feels like because, like, look at it. Raising the prices of things. That's going to make people produce more loosh. All of these world wars going on, all of this collateral damage that affects the global economic system. That's designed to break the common people. The Illuminati and the elites, they don't have to worry about paying bills. They don't have to worry that they don't care about raising prices. So they have so much money that money doesn't even matter to them. You can raise the prices to $1 million a gallon and it wouldn't affect them still, That's how much wealth the Rothschilds have, That like, and the other banking families, right? They're wealthy beyond your wildest imaginations. And when you're that wealthy, you can control a lot of things. And I feel like a lot of this stuff, the social media, it was put like it was given to the people on purpose. First, they made social media proliferate because they want to spy on everybody. Because you see, the spying systems is plain as day now. Back in the days, it used to be like a conspiracy theory if you said like the government is spying on you through social media. People like laugh at you and call you a conspiracy theorist. Now it's so much evidence that people are not laughing now. And I think social media was utilized to get people like used to it. Just like how they're doing AI robots. People are smiling and laughing at the AI robots. Then 80 years from now, you're going to have the same robots putting you inside pretty much concentration camps, right? If you don't comply with government rules, regulations, and obligations, if you don't comply with the government's rules, they're going to start throwing you in different types of places. They're going to have big giant robots with laser guns and plasma cannons, and they're going to have artificial intelligence integrated into their subsystems. And it's going to be ridiculous, Just like how when social media came upon us, everybody started telling their business. Everybody started just, sharing personal information, and the government just collects the data, you know, and I bet they got some secret classified profiles on all of us. I guarantee they have it. I almost bet there's some secret profile score that's hidden and only the CIA knows. And all of us who have social security cards, like it has our number, like it has that, then it has like our name. And it's probably some secret government base. And they probably have all the things that we've done and, our propensities. They probably have all of our online activities. It's just, why do you need that information? Just like the PlayStation 5 or whatever, how, they want your ID. They want your ID for verification and authentication to play a video game. What about buying the video game? You should be old enough to buy the video game, right? That's where the information should end. Let's say if a dad does want to buy his son, a Grand Theft Auto game, he should be able to because because like that's his son, right? You know what I mean? And like and he should be able to get it if the parent wants to allow that. Some parents don't want their kids to play any video games like that, and that's fine. Right? When I was younger, I was playing Grand Theft Auto and all the games that were supposed to be for adults, right? And I just think that it's a video game. So if a father goes buys his son the video game, that should be enough